Yes, ma'am. Okay, chalo. So let's start. So now we are talking about that is further part with respect to that is harmful effect of noise pollution. Write down the title. We are talking about that is harmful effects of noise pollution. Chalo. So in case of condition, first of all, we are talking about that is first effect on hearing ability. First effect we are talking about what will be the effect of noise pollution on the hearing ability. Number one, if the sound or the noise at 150 decibel dB or greater than 150 decibel. If these are the condition 150 or the greater than 150 decibel, that time it will be create very severe effect. It will be damage the ear drum. So it will be damage the ear drum. And in other language, we can also say that it will be effect permanently on the hearing ability. It will be showing permanent effect on hearing ability. So if we are talking about this condition, these are the exposure of high noise. It's high condition. Okay, it's very high. Now sometime what happen if that is for example, if you are continuously you are using the earphones and continuously you are listening this song, so such type of this condition again it will be leads to permanent effect on your hearing ability. And such type of this hearing ability we are talking about this chronic exposure of low noise pollution. Noise pollution is not high, but continuously you are facing the low noise pollution, maybe scooter sound, maybe bus, maybe jet airplane sound, or maybe you can say you are continuously listening the songs. So that time what happen, such condition it leads to formation of chronic. The word chronic it represent that is low sound level. Now it is high. These are the example for the high. Now we are talking about for the low. So it leads to chronic exposure, chronic exposure of low noise level. Low noise level. So such condition also leads to permanent effect on the hearing ability. So not only high sound, higher noise, as well as the low sound, it will be effect on your hearing ability. But now what happen if I'm talking about this high one, it will be showing immediate response, or it will be showing it finally it is damage the eardrum. But is this any continuous exposure of that noise? So these are also effect on your hearing ability. Okay, so these are the major cause due to noise pollution. So this point is clear. This point is clear, everyone. Haha. This point is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, chalo. So next continue, because you also feel that you when you heard any loud sound, so ultimately your heartbeats increase, your breathing pattern also increase. Some people they have some allergic reaction, as well as it is effect on your eyesight. So we are talking about the some other effects. So these are the major cause. Number one. Number second, we are talking about people feel sleepless, sleeplessness. Number third, increase the heartbeat. Heartbeats rate. Now, fourth one, alteration of breathing pattern. Alteration of breathing pattern. These are the next effect. Now the fifth one, In some organism, there is some allergic reaction. It is not in all, but some people face that. That is allergic reaction. I'm writing in bracket in some organism. Okay. In some organism. And the next point, that is number 6, it is effect on eyesight. It is effect on eyesight also. So these are the some effects, harmful effects of the noise pollution. So these are the part of this, how it will be showing the effect. Now we are talking about how to control noise pollution, and it's very easy method. Okay, chalo, this part is done. This part is done. Deepika, this part is done, beta. Okay, chalo. So now we are talking about control, how to control the noise pollution. Noise pollution basically is very small part, और यहाँ से जो question बनता है, that question it is related to decibel unit, one question, and another question, that is what is the limit of each and every what we say the recorded condition. That is the another question. So most of the question it is coming from the air pollution, and the another question it is coming from the water pollution maximally. So now we are talking about the next point, how to control noise pollution. Okay, chalo. So control of noise pollution. Now, basically, when we are talking about that is control, there is a one method, that is acoustic zoning method. So we are talking about that is first method to control, and that method nothing but these are called as the acoustic zoning method. Acoustic zoning method. What is meaning of that method? Basically, I hope you know this point, because there is some sound limit. There is something is noise pollution. Is this area is industrial area? Is this any hospital area or education area? So government it is decided some limit of this noise. So extent of that now it is the people can take the legal action on that. So according what is meaning of this acoustic zoning, area wise there is a control of noise pollution. So first of all we are talking about that is area. And first one we are talking about that is industrial area. And normally industrial area it is situated away from the or outside the city, away from the city. And industrial area, the government decided limit for the noise pollution during the day as well as the during the night. So we have to study the two parameters. What will be the limit at the daytime and what will be the limit in night time. So first of all, for the industrial zone, government decided that is daytime it should be 75 decibel, and during the night is 5 less, that is 70 decibel. So 75 and the 70. These are the acoustic zoning noise pollution limit. Now, number second, that is occupational zone. Occupational zone. In occupational zone, again these are the limit. It is having 65 and the 55. So 65 decibel during the day and the 55 decibel during the night. So these are the second condition for the occupational zone. Third one, that is residential zone. Third one, that is residential zone. In case of this residential zone, 55 decibel during the daytime, and during night time it should be 45 decibel in residential zone. Now next one we are talking about the silent zone, and inside the silent zone we have to take the example the area which is near to hospital and near to education sector. So last point, that is silent zone, and under this silent zone you can take that is area near to hospital an area near to education, means school, colleges, or is this any private institute? So it has the limit, and that limit during the daytime it should be 50 decibel, and during the night it should be 40 decibel. So these are the first way government decided some limit during the day and the night time. So such limit, these are called as the acoustic zoning method, and this zoning method is depend upon the area wise or zone wise. So this point is clear, everyone? How do you understand what is the limit during the day and during the night time? Yeah. Okay, Sarah. Now get a simple method. Now we are talking about second method, that is green muffler. Green muffler means what? We have to do plantation, the plant who absorb the noise. And yes, we have some plant like Ashoka and the neem plant. Mostly in industrial area, if you see that plant, it is rich with the Ashoka plant. What is the reason? Because Ashoka plant, they absorb the noise. So ये पहला method था, number one, that is acoustic zoning. Number second method we are talking about, that is green muffler. And there is a one question asked in previous examination. What is meaning of this green muffler? Green muffler. Green muffler means we have to do plantation, the plant who absorb the noise. So green muffler, nothing but the technique where there is a plantation. And why plantation? Because plant, they can absorb the noise. And the best example of the plant, number one, that is Ashoka plant. And the another example, that is neem plant. So Ashoka and the neem plant. So these are the example of the plant. So these are the methods that are called as a green muffler method, where we have to use the plant who control the noise pollution. So this point is clear, everyone? This point is clear. These are the end with the noise pollution. It's very simple part and very small part. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है इससे. And maximum question is not coming from this point. एक question बना था with respect to unit, that is decibel, and the another question that is with respect to green muffler in NEET examination, right? Next we are talking about water pollution, which is very important point, and we have to discuss so many examples here. और थोड़ा बड़ा भी है ये. Okay. So should I continue with the water pollution? Third part, Aryan? Aryan, are you okay now? Okay, good. Chalo. So next point, we are talking about third one, water pollution. Third part of this pollution, water pollution. Water pollution, right? In case of this water pollution, first of all, we are talking about the sources, and through that sources, we have to discuss in domestic sewage what content it is present in domestic sewage. Okay. So next point we are talking about, that is water pollution. In case of this water pollution, first of all, we are talking about what is the different sources for the water pollution. So as we know, the common, that is industrial waste. First one, that is industrial waste. These are the first one, first technique. Another one, that is municipal waste. And the third one, that is domestic waste. Domestic waste. So we have to focus on the waste, that is domestic waste or domestic sewage. Now, in case of that domestic waste, okay. So in case of this domestic waste, basically we are talking about This domestic waste, it is consists of 99.9% of water. So maximum it is consist of this 99.9% of water. H2O, water is present, and only 0.1% there is a presence of impurities. Okay, so there is a presence of impurities. So these are the condition with respect to domestic water. So what kind of these impurities? One question, 0.1% impurities are present in domestic waste. So we have to enlist the name or the example, what kind of these impurities present in such type of this domestic sewage or domestic waste. Now consider these are the 100% domestic waste. Circle. Out of that 100%, now these are the 0.1%. Just suppose, these are the only point. Just 1 second. Just 1 second, okay? Hello. Okay, just write down. So these are the 100% area, this one, and inside this 100% area, we just highlighted the blue color. This blue color, nothing but we are talking about that is 0.1% impurities. Okay, 0.1% impurities. Write down which type of this impurities is present. First one. First one. Sand, sand, slit, sand, slit, clay. Just give me 1 second, okay? Just 1 second, okay? Just read the previous part. My screen is get frozen. Just 1 second, okay? Just read the previous part. We'll continue. Yeah, okay. It's okay now. Chalo, continue. Thank you. So we are talking about that is definitely in case of that domestic waste, there is a presence of 0.1% impurities. So now we have to discuss, for example, these are the 100% domestic waste. Out of that 100%, now these are the part which is represented by this green color. Just suppose, these are the part which is represented by this green color. These are the nothing but only 0.1% impurities are there. So we have to enlist what kind of these impurities are present. So just we discuss. First of all, we are talking about that is there is a presence of this silt. Now there is a presence of this sand, and now there is a presence of this clay. So these are the first part. Those are included into suspended substance. Substances means what? Which get settled down at the bottom. That's why these are called as the suspended substance. So these are the first category which is included into 0.1. In second category, we are talking about some paper fiber. There is a presence of this paper fiber. Along with that, there is a presence of some clothing fiber or simply cloth fiber. Next one, that is fecal matter, and there is a presence of some bacteria also, because inside the sewage water bacteria also present. All these are the example which is included into colloidal material. Colloidal, so suspended which is settled down. Colloidal means what? It will be showing reactions interact with the water. So definitely fibers, fecal matter, bacteria, the presence in sewage water. And the last condition we are talking about, there is a presence of some dissolved substance also. So third category. Third category we are talking about, that is there is a presence of nitrate, and nitrate nothing but we are talking about, that is NO2 minus, that is nitrate. Another condition, some sulfate materials also, as well as there is a presence of some amount of calcium, some amount of this iron, as well as there is a presence of ammonia. There is a presence of this ammonia. So all these are the matter, these are the nothing but we can say that is dissolved substance. Dissolved substance. So only 0.1% these are the contribution. Only 1%. But if you see inside that only 1% domestic vote, these are the different particles are present, like suspended substance, colloidal material, as well as there's a presence of some dissolved substance. So there's a one question, how much percentage? 0.1%. And now these are the impurities which is present in water. Next class means when we start with the sewage treatment plant, that time we will discuss how to remove these impurities. So we'll continue this plant with sewage treatment plant. Now, first of all, we are talking about that is what is the harmful effect of water pollution, and then we continue with the how to control water pollution. Okay. So, ye tha some information with respect to sources. Second point, under the water pollution, we are discussing that is harmful effect of water pollution. Harmful effect of water pollution. So we have to discuss the three major one. In case of this, number one, we are talking about that is aquatic biodiversity. First of all, we are discussing what is the harmful effect on aquatic biodiversity. And in ecology language, this aquatic biodiversity also called as the alternate name, or these are called as the producibility. Producibility. Second part we'll discuss, that is eutrophication, highly polluted water lake body. Eutrophication, and third one, biomagnification. These are the one concept, and this part is very important part. Biomagnification. Okay. So first of all, we are talking about what is meaning of this producibility, that is aquatic biodiversity. What will be the harmful effect on the aquatic biodiversity? So this part is finished. Should I continue with the next part? Okay, then, chalo. So now we are talking about first part with respect to aquatic biodiversity. Producibility. The word producibility, it is represent, that is ability of biodegradable component or compound which is degraded by decomposers. These are the ability of degradation, and inside this degradation basically some part is involved, and that part nothing but we are talking about decomposers like fungus, like bacteria. So what is the typical and the simple definition for the producibility? That is ability of degradation, biodegradation exactly. Ability of biodegradation. Ability of biodegradation by decomposers. Okay. So ability of degradation of organic component by decomposers. By decomposers, and definitely domestic sewage, these are the rich with the organic component. Each and every sewage, these are the rich with the organic component. So in this condition, first of all, we are taking some examples, and now we are discussing what is the relation between the biological oxygen demand and the dissolved oxygen. So first of all, we are taking some example of decomposers. So first of all, we are talking about some example of decomposers. Okay. Now, in case of this decomposer, first of all, we are taking example with respect to bacteria. First of all, we are taking example with respect to bacteria. So, almost if I'm talking about this bacteria, all type of the bacteria, they are involved in the degradation process. Definitely, all type of this bacteria. But in this condition, we are talking about some specific example which is specially present in sewage water. And number one bacteria, that is E. coli bacteria. E. coli bacteria, right? Which is the most common. We already, in case of 11th standard, we discussed the Monera. We discussed the cell wall, the what we say, prokaryotic cell. So all in this condition, E. coli is very common example. Easily available, maintenance very easy, cultivation also easy. And with respect to RNA recombinant technology, rDNA technology, is this any new experiment or the any whatever you want to produce the insulin? So very healthy and the very economically effective bacteria, that is E. coli bacteria. And according to हम आगे देखेंगे when we start the molecular chapter in Human Genome Project also, first bacteria who studied by the scientists where we have the all the sequences, and that bacteria, that is E. coli bacteria. So here also there is an involvement of bacteria, that is E. coli bacteria. Another bacteria which is present, which is act as a decomposer in water pollution as a controller. So that is Bigatoa. We are talking about, that is Bigatoa. So these are the another bacteria which is present in case of this bacteria category. Second category, we are talking about some example under the cyanobacteria, that is BGA, right? And we already discussed about BGA. Basically, these are the photosynthetic bacteria, cyanobacteria. These are included into category, that is photosynthetic bacteria. So second category, that is BGA bacteria. And in case of this BGA bacteria, we are taking example, that is Microcystis. First example, that is Microcystis. Second example, Oscillatoria. Oscillatoria. So these are the second example which is belong to cyanobacteria or the BGA category. Now, after this bacteria's example, we are talking about some example of this fungi, because fungi also, they are also act as a decomposers. These are the naturally saprophytic organism. So many fungi are involved, but we are taking some example which is mostly present in domestic water or domestic sewage. Number one, that is mucor, is very common. Example is mucor. And the another example, that is fusarium. Mucor and the fusarium. These are the mostly present in case of this act as a decomposers which is present in sewage water. And the last example, we are talking about some green algae also. These are also act as a decomposers. Green algae. And in case of this green algae, very common example we are talking about, that is Cyclomonas. Sorry, it's a Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. It's very common example in case of this green algae. So if you see the category, all we are taking the examples of decomposers, but remember all these decomposers we are talking about with respect to domestic sewage. In case of domestic sewage, such type of this decomposer, it is found very commonly. It's not too much pathogenic because it's naturally present, because domestic waste, it is present each and every home, right? And that domestic sewage, these are the consist of such type of this bacteria, fungus, as well as some green algae also. Remember this point, sewage to sewage organism, it is differ. It is not necessary कि यहाँ पे हमने लिखा है कि cyanobacteria is present, so cyanobacteria it should be present in all type of the sewage. We are talking about only domestic sewage, because see, industrial waste is very harmful. We require so many treatment for that, to remove the harmful chemical, to remove the any excess nitrite, nitrate, ammonia. So that is a way of the purification. Again, when you are talking about this municipal waste, again we will be having the another types of waste. E-waste also there, that is electronic waste. वहाँ पे अलग type के bacteria present होंगे. But in this condition, we have to focus on only domestic waste. And this domestic waste, these are the consist of the decomposers, and these are the example of the decomposers. Okay. So had you clear? Remember this point. Sewage to sewage, bacteria get changed. हाँ, कुछ जगह पे से हो सकता है. These are the common bacteria present. But now in this scenario, we have to focus only the decomposers which is involved in domestic sewage degradation. Clear this point, everyone? Aristotle, this point is clear, beta? Yeah. Okay, chalo. Now we are talking about very important point, and today जैसे ये class होगा, you have to read this point very carefully from NCERT. Next point, we are talking about what is the relation between the BOD, biological oxygen demand, and what is the level of OD, that is oxygen demand. So we are talking about next point with respect to water pollution. Now when we discuss that is oxygen is required, O2 is required. अगर ऐसा condition हो गया, so that time very common thing that organism it's required high concentration of BOD and DO. Its concentration it should be decreased. Please highlight BOD high हुआ and the DO it get low. So what is meaning of BOD and the DO? So first of all, we are talking about that is BOD. These are the stand for biological oxygen demand. Biological oxygen demand. BOD. And why DO? It is represent dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen. Okay. So we are talking about the two terminology, BOD and the that is dissolved oxygen. So remember this thing when we are talking about that is BOD, these are the inversely proportional to dissolved oxygen. हम आगे देखेंगे by taking the example. So is this any organism they required the more oxygen? Biological oxygen demand is more. BOD is more. What is meaning of that? In that water maybe the oxygen level dissolved oxygen, because we know that inside this water oxygen get dissolved, so the oxygen concentration or that oxygen level in water they should be decreased. So simply we can say that that is BOD, these are the inversely proportional to DO, that is dissolved oxygen. Okay, now हम इसको आगे आगे देखेंगे डिटेल में what is the typical definition for the BOD, right? Not right now, we discuss later. So basically what happened, why BOD is very important. BOD, that is biological oxygen demand, it will be give information, it will be represent the status of organic pollution. Is this water body is polluted or it is not polluted? So it is depend upon that. So we are talking about that is BOD. It gives status of organic pollution. So we'll discuss by taking example of fish in aquatic body. Organic pollution. So first of all, we are talking about what is the concentration, concentration of this BOD and the dissolved oxygen. So when we say that is these are the highly polluted or the moderate polluted or the low polluted, or is this any aquatic body, these are the healthy. So what we said like that. So first of all, we are talking about with respect to BOD. So first of all, we draw this chart. For example, there is a concentration of BOD. Okay. And now, if BOD concentration it is greater than 4000 mg per liter, this concentration, biological oxygen demand, these are the 4000, means demand is more per liter, itna concentration chahiye. So remember this thing, if more oxygen is required, it means that water body, these are the highly polluted. Its level is high. So we can say that these are the high pollution. This represent the situation of that aquatic body. These are the highly polluted. So ये पहला point हो गया. Number second, if the concentration of BOD it is lie between 1500, okay, 1500 to 4000. यहाँ पे greater than 4000. Here we are talking the limit that is 4000 mg per liter. So such kind of this condition, simply we can say that yes, pollution is there, but now this pollution, these are the moderate level. So this pollution basically it is represent the moderate level pollution because something हम आगे देखेंगे the number of this decomposer it is increase in water body, and if decomposers number is increased it means that that organism that decomposer they require the more oxygen. Hmm? Next condition, if the value for the BOD is less than 1500 mg per liter. So that time we can say that these are the pollution is there, but now it's comparatively low pollution. So these are the value for biological oxygen demand. And remember, BOD it is give the status of the pollution, organic pollution. So if more oxygen demand, if more biological oxygen demand, it means that that water body is highly polluted. Now another condition we have to compare with the DO, that is dissolved oxygen. तो इसी को हम continue कर रहे हैं. Now we continue this point with the next point, that is what is the concentration of DO, that is dissolved oxygen. If concentration of DO, that is dissolved oxygen, it will be greater than 14 mg per liter. Is this greater than 14 mg per liter? It means that that aquatic body is quite healthy. So it is represent that is healthy aquatic body. सब कुछ अच्छा है because that water it is having the high concentration of oxygen. It means that organic pollution is less. Now next condition, if the concentration of dissolved oxygen is less than less than 8 mg per liter, right? 8 mg per liter. It means that such type of this aquatic body, these are the polluted. So that body, water body, these are the polluted. And if the concentration of dissolved oxygen is very less, less means what? The concentration of DO, that is dissolved oxygen, it less than 4 mg. Is less than 4 mg per liter. So that condition we can say these are the heavily or highly polluted water body. It is not a healthy. Highly polluted the water body. Okay. So these are the some value with respect to BOD and the dissolved oxygen. And through this value, we can get the clear-cut idea that is biological oxygen demand. These are the inversely proportional to dissolved oxygen. And why BOD is important? Because BOD it is view, is this water body polluted or it is healthy or it is not polluted? Means healthy or not polluted. Okay. So now to explain this relationship with respect to BOD and the DO, we are taking some diagrammatic representation. And this diagram, it's very important because from all the water pollution, these are the, what we say, BOD and the dissolved oxygen, these are exactly core. These are the important part. These are the exactly summary of this topic. So now we are taking the fish example, how to represent the relationship between the biological oxygen demand and the dissolved oxygen. Okay. So should I continue with the next? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So please draw a diagram along with me. So we have to represent by the graph. Okay. So these are the one graphical representation. Now on the x-axis, we are talking about direction of flow. that is sewage flow. Now on this y-axis we are talking about that is concentration. यहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे हैं concentration. So to represent the concentration, we are using the two different types of this color. Number one, this point. It will be increasing, get stable, and again it will be get decline. So this blue color, it is represent BOD, that is biological oxygen demand. So if you see this scenario, biological oxygen demand, it will be suddenly get increased. Now at the some time it will be should stable, and again it will be decline. So these are the conditions. Now we are change the paint, we are taking the dissolved oxygen. So यहाँ पे present होगा DO, that is concentration of this dissolved oxygen. Now in case of this dissolved oxygen, again it will be showing this stable, suddenly decline, now again stable, and suddenly increase. So these are the diagrammatic representation for the concentration of this dissolved oxygen and the BOD. So if you see this scenario, if BOD is increased, see, यहाँ से point शुरू करो, this one. So if this BOD is increased, this point, right, this BOD point, it will be increased. So suddenly what happened? This dissolved oxygen concentration will get decline. Yes. So what this represent? Why these are the happening? Initially these are the one point. यहाँ पे एक point है. These are the one point. And through this point, there is a discharge of, means we have to discharge the sewage water. Through this, we have to release the sewage water, or simply discharge of the sewage. When we are talking about the sewage, definitely what will be the happen? It is content of the organic material, right? And if organic material is more, ultimately decomposers also more. So when the sewage water we release inside this water body, so these are the initial stage. So during the initial stage, the BOD, biological oxygen demand, it should be high. And when BOD is high, now the dissolved oxygen, it will be get decline. And why these are the happening? Because the decomposers numbers are increased in water. Because decomposers are more. And why decomposers are more? Because in sewage water, organic material is more. True this point? Yes or no? How do you understand why these are the happening? Why that suddenly biological oxygen demand it will be required? Why it will be get shoot out? Because when there is a sewage water, these are the rich with the organic material, and when we release the organic material, it means that is a decomposer, saprophytic like bacteria, photosynthetic BGA, that is cyanobacteria, some fungi, some green algae, the number get increased. It means that decomposers number is increased. Or why these are the increase? Because in that sewage water, when we discharge at the initial stage, there is a high concentration of the organic material, right? Now we are talking about next point with respect to what will be the condition with fish. So यहाँ पे हमने discharge किया, and now we have to represent above this line what will be the scenario in aquatic organism. What these are the happening with aquatic organisms. So remember in this condition, once we discharge the sewage water, just stop writing. I'll give the time. The diagram बहुत important है. I'll give the 2 minutes for the writing. Please see the on screen. Huh? So once you discharge that sewage water, ultimately what happened? The number of these fish at this point, okay, this number of these fish did decrease. Or sometime, if there is a highly polluted water body, ultimately we can say that these are the disappear also, because oxygen level come ho gaya, dissolved oxygen, and without oxygen fish cannot survive, right? If you see now, these are the at the center, we observe there is some stable condition. BOD is stable and now there is a dissolved oxygen also stable, but immediately that dissolved oxygen concentration is increased. and the BOD concentration it will be decreased. So यहाँ पे decrease हुआ, it will be decreased. Why these are the happening? It means that degradation process is done, and now in this scenario, fish can reappear. ऐसे नहीं होगा कि 100% fish will be get killed, but now what happened? Some amount of these fish are present and they can reproduce and they form the new fish. So why these are the happening? Because just we discussed initially, that is biological oxygen demand is high, but when we compare this point after the degradation process, after this complete degradation process, so now what happened? Once the degradation process is done, we can say that is BOD concentration now it is get declined. It means dissolved oxygen get increased. And why these are the possible? Because the number of decomposers who involved in such type of this reaction, their amount is get declined. And why this number is declared? Because now it is not polluted water. Organic material is degrade. Organic material is degrade. Means there is no food available for the saprophytic organism, no food available for the decomposers. And that's why if we compare this point with respect to after the degradation, so you will get such type of this scenario. So this diagram is very important. Why I'm telling you? Because they give this graph को represent करेंगे A and B, and simply they ask, tell me at what point we have to write down the BOD and the DO. That's why I'm telling you this point is very important. And from NCERT also you have to read this diagram. You have to check this. Okay. So just I give the time for you. Just complete this diagram. Yes, sure. Aman, just finish the writing better. एक बार writing finish करो, समझा देंगे. Okay. This part is done. Diagram is done. Should I explain again? Okay, fine. So we are talking about the point that is water pollution. In case of water pollution, we have to focus on the sewage water, domestic water. In case of this domestic water, remember this point, BOD and the DO, it has the inversely proportional relationship with each other. Is this any water body? मान लो कि एक छोटा सा pond है, and that pond they have the high concentration of oxygen. It means what? It means that is fish are present in more number. Other aquatic organisms these are the present in more number, because now that pond it is free with the any pollution. But now what happen if you discharge any sewage water in that aquatic body? Slowly what happen? Sewage water these are the containing the organic material. Organic होगा मतलब क्या होगा? Now that organic material, some decomposers like fungus, like bacteria, they attack on this condition. All these decomposers, these are the living organisms. They require oxygen for their multiplication. So what they do? They utilize the dissolved oxygen which is present in water. जैसे जैसे सीवेज वाटर का concentration increase होगा, ultimately the decomposers number also get increased. That decomposer utilize the oxygen which is present in water, and slowly that dissolved oxygen concentration it get decline. If DO decline, it means that BOD it's high, and when BOD is high, it represent that water body it is rich with the decomposers. और decomposers के number कब ज़्यादा होंगे? When that water body it is having high amount of organic material. So that's why that relationship, that is BOD, these are the inversely proportional to dissolved oxygen, be represented by such type of this diagram. So if you see the cursor, now these are the BOD, biological oxygen demand. Initially you discharge the sewage water. जैसे आपने sewage water discharge किया, it means that suddenly that BOD it will be get increase. Why these are the increase? Because discharge that sewage water it is rich with the organic material, and now organic material is more. It means that is number of decomposers also get decreased. Decomposer के number increase हो गए means they can utilize the oxygen. So slowly BOD oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand it is get increased, and the dissolved oxygen which is present in water body they suddenly get decline. ये कब तक होगा? When that complete sewage water it is free with the pollution, it is free with the organic material. Once that water, sewage water, it is free with the organic material, so slowly what happened? Organic material means these are the one kind of this food for the decomposers. So the concentration of that decomposer organic material it's decline. It is represent that is decomposers number also decline. Why? Because food is not available, and when that decomposers number is declined, so slowly biological oxygen demand also increase, and the dissolved oxygen it get increase in water body. So it is represent that when BOD is more, it means that fish number they get decrease or they suddenly get disappear. But once if the biological oxygen demand it is get declined, so that time these are the chance the fish can reappear. So do you understand now? It's very easy concept. It is depend upon the degradation process. बस हम इसको अलग terminology में study कर रहे हैं. BOD and the DO. That's it. इतना ही फर्क है. So this point is clear. Aman, had you anyone had you any doubt? Okay. So is this any doubt? Clear. Okay, fine. Chalo, good. Now we are talking about this next scenario with respect to examples. What kind of this indicator, water pollution indicator? Just we discussed that is example of these decomposers also, which is present in aquatic body who involved in degradation process. But if we just say, for example, you are collecting the sewage water, मान लो कोई तो municipal का gutter है and you are collecting water from that. So what kind of this organism we can found? Is this body, these are the polluted water. So that's why these are called as the water pollution indicator. So one question from this indicator. So next point we are talking about some examples of water pollution indicator. जिस तरह से lichen होता है, lichen basically these are the indicator for the sulfur oxide. It is good indicator for the air pollution. So we are talking about which type of this organism these are the represent for the water pollution. So first example we are talking about that is tubifex. Tubifex basically these are the one example of annelid. Right here. These are the examples of annelids. Number second, that is one insect, Chironomus. Chironomus, these are the one example of this insect which is present in highly polluted water. And the another condition, it is very what we say, very common example, Cinderella, and name of the Cinderella that is E. coli. Okay. And this E. coli, mostly these are present in this polluted water. More specific, it is present in fecal matter. Is this any fecal matter? So definitely these are rich with the bacteria, that is E. coli bacteria. These are some examples of the water pollution indicator. Natural indicators are there, and one question from that indicators. Clear this point? This point is clear, everyone? So these are the first point with respect to, that is producibility, how that ability of that biodegradation process with the help of the decomposers. Clear this point? So we cover this first point in case of harmful effect. Now second point we are talking about, that is biomagnification. Should I continue with the next? Should I continue? Okay, Sarah. Chalo. So next point, biomagnification. Number second. Biomagnification, and such biomagnification also called as bioconcentration. Biomagnification or the concentration. So first of all, we are talking the simple definition. Biomagnification, nothing but we are talking about the increase the concentration of some pollutant, and that pollutant, it should be toxic chemical which is persist in organism body. So biomagnification, it means that is increased concentration of toxic chemical which is persistent in organism body. They never eliminate from the body. In organism body, sorry. In organism body. So such type of this process, that is accumulation of toxic chemicals in organism body, or the persistence of that pollutant, that chemical, these are nothing but these are called as the process biomagnification on the bioconcentration. So to explain this, we are taking one example, and now there is one question from the NEET examination from this example. So we are taking one example, that is these are the one research study in island of USA. So USA का island है, some scientists perform some experiment there. So now what happened? That island basically, to control the mosquito on that island, the people spread the DDT pesticide. What happened? They used DDT. Can you tell me DDT, these are the primary pollutant or secondary pollutant? Can you tell me DDT, these are the primary pollutant or secondary pollutant? Anyone? It's primary. And can you tell me the example of secondary? Yes, it's primary. And what is the example of the secondary pollutant? Pan and ozone. Okay, very good. So we are talking about in USA island, the people use the DDT pesticide to control the mosquito. Now what happened? Definitely there is a continuous use of that DDT pesticide, but scientists, that people observe that after few years, they observe that is these are the decrease in population of the fish eating bird. Decrease the population of bird, and that bird nothing but we are talking about, that is fish eating bird. So scientists decided why these are happening, why the suddenly that number of these fish, that is fish eating bird, the number of this bird, why they get declined. So they observe that there is just some examples of a pesticide. So first of all हम example लिख देते हैं. What is the name of that bird? So example, that is bird, bald eagle. Bald eagle. These are the example of that bird, that is fish eating bird. So now in this condition we are talking about what is meaning of this pesticide. We have the different example of the pesticide. You can say that is means there is a which is involved in biomagnification. We'll take at the last. So first of all we are talking about food chain with respect to that island USA. What happening during that condition? Why that suddenly the bald eagle number it is get declined? So this same diagram is present in NCERT also. So first of all we draw the one by one diagram. So to explain this case study, we have to draw first of all food chain. First of all, we have to draw that is food chain. Okay. In case of this food chain, first of all, we are talking about these are the all case study with respect to fish eating bird. Means we have to focus on the water body. So initially, what happened? These are the present of the water body. Number one. Okay. So ये completely water body presented. And inside this water body, there is a presence of phytoplankton. There is a presence of phytoplankton. Okay. And inside this phytoplankton, if you are talking about what is the concentration of DDT, which is the one example of the pesticide. So it is example that is 0.003 ppb parts per billion. Okay, ppb. Scroll up. Just complete this part. Done? Done, Shantanu? झालं का रे? Okay, so we are talking about that is phytoplankton and the concentration that is 0.003 ppb. And this concentration, this is ppb concentration of DDT. DDT concentration which is present in water. Which is present in water, because now what happened? To control the mosquito, now the people use the pesticide, and now that pesticide is dissolved, not dissolved, is mixed with the water. Dissolve nahi hota DDT. First of all, it is mixed. It is get mixed into water, or it is simply add into water. So in case of this phytoplankton, which is present in aquatic body, so that aquatic body it has the 0.003 ppb, that is parts per billion DDT concentration is water. Now we are talking about that is food chain. It means that such type of this phytoplankton, these are the eaten by the next trophic level organism, that is zooplankton. Yes, yahi hota hai. So next point we are talking about, there is a presence of zooplankton. So now that phytoplankton, these are the eaten by. So simply we are talking about these are the eaten by the zooplankton, and inside this zooplankton now the concentration of this DDT, that is 0.04 ppm. So pehle billion tha, now it is converted into million, that is ppb. Now food chain hai. After this we know that zooplankton, now these are the eaten by the next trophic level organism, that is small fish. So these are the water body. So we are talking about, sound is okay? Sound is okay? Okay, Deepika, chalo. So we are talking about that zooplankton, these are the eaten by the small fish. So here we are talking about there's a presence of the small fish, and now such type of the small fish, it has the concentration. That concentration, here hata dete or otherwise. So this concentration basically it has 0.5 ppm. These are the concentration which is present in small fish. Because now what happened? Initially the DDT present in water. Water से कहाँ पे enter हो गया? Inside the body of the phytoplankton. Phytoplankton say it is entered into zooplankton. From zooplankton now it is entered into small fish. Now after this small fish, it will be get entered into large fish because these are the part of this food chain. So now from the small fish, now it is get entered into large fish, and the concentration which is present in large fish body, these are the 2 ppm. So concentration, if you see, these are the from water to large fish, this concentration it is get increased. Suddenly it is get increased. And now what happened? Just we discussed the one example, that is example of the bald eagle. Bald eagle, basically it is a one fish eating bird. And from this bald eagle, this large fish, it is eaten by this bird. That bird, nothing but we are talking about, that is bald eagle bird. And the concentration, which is the highest level, these are the having concentration 5 ppm. Just check this. I think you will get this year the new edition of the NCERT. So there is a one doubt. मेरे पास जो book है, I have the another old book. So just check this concentration of this bald eagle. These are the 5 ppm or 25 ppm. Okay, just check and please go through with NCERT book. Okay, so just check this one. What is the concentration of DDT in bald eagle body? Is this 5 ppm or 25 ppm? Okay, so please let me know this point. Now, so if you see this condition, initially we start from the point not 3 ppb, and now suddenly it is up to bald eagle, which is a one type of this food chain, because one tropic level to another tropic level, the DDT concentration it is transferred, and now it is get accumulated inside this body, and finally we are talking about that is point, that is bald eagle bird. And now what happened, that bald eagle bird, it has highest concentration of DDT. It has highest concentration of DDT. Okay, so why these are they happening? What is the harmful effect of that DDT? Why the number of that bald eagle bird it is get decline? So basically, when we are talking about what will be the effect, so number one effect, that is DDT effect on, which is the one type of this one pesticide which is not degraded, right? So these are the effect on calcium metabolism. It is the effect on first point, that is calcium metabolism. How? If you see that the bald eagle, these are the bird, right? That bird having that egg, it is covered with the eggshell. Can you tell me that eggshell made up of which material? Which material is mostly abundant in eggshell? Okay, Sira, fine. Thank you. It's 5. Yes, Deepika. It's a rich with the material, that is calcium material. So now what happened if you see the effect due to that DDT, it will be effect on that eggshell. And now what will be the result? It will be responsible for the thinning of eggshell, and due to thinning, now there is a premature breakage of this egg. और एक जैसे premature break हो गए, ultimately this condition leads to decrease the population number. So first of all, we are talking all the information. DDT, these are the effect on the calcium metabolism, right? Now in this condition, it is responsible for thinning. It is responsible for thinning of eggshell. Because eggshell, these are the most abundant component, these are the calcium. Now, due to that thinning, there is a premature breakage of the egg. Because egg, it should be required some incubation time, right, before the hatching. So now it leads to premature breakage of egg. And due to premature breakage of this egg, ultimately the population size of bald eagle bird, it's decreased. So these are the first reason who will be showing the effect of this DDT. It will be effect on the calcium metabolism. So ये तो हो गया with respect to that case study which is studied in the island of this USA. You people use the DDT pesticide to control the mosquito. Now we are talking about what will be the harmful effect of DDT in human body. The next condition. So next point we are talking about, that is DDT effect on human. Human के ऊपर क्या क्या effect होगा? So in this condition we are talking about, first of all, it's damage the liver. First effect, liver damage. Second effect, these are the responsible for softening of brain. Brain को soft करेगा. Again, it is responsible for hypertension. Hypertension. And finally, these are the also responsible for formation of the defective sex organ. Defective sex organ कहने से अच्छा, we are talking about this hormone, because DDT, yes, it will be effect on this defective sex hormone. So such kind of this process, these are called as the biomagnification. And what is meaning of this biomagnification? Simply we are talking about some persistent pollutant like DDT. हम आगे देखेंगे example like DDT, pesticide, BHC pesticide, some mercury are there. They just transfer from one trophic level to next trophic level, and due to that transportation, the highest organism which is present at the trophic level, it will be get high concentration of such type of this pollutant, and this transformation, these are the through the food chain. That's why it is called as the bioconcentration or the biomagnification. So first of all, we are taking some examples of the persistent pollutant. Persistent pollutant, those are the get accumulated in organic body. Number one, just we discussed, that is DDT. Another one, that is BHC. And the third one example, that is aldrin. So all these three examples, these are the example of pesticide to kill the pest. These are the example of the pesticide. और हमारे पास और एक example है, that is one heavy metal, and that example we are talking about mercury. Mercury, and mercury, these are the one example of heavy metal. Okay. Now, so we are talking about, normally if we are eating any part, that part it is easily get breakdown. But what happened with such type of this pesticide and the heavy metal? Why these are the persistent pollutant? Why these are called as the persistent pollutant? Why these are the not easily degrade from the living organism? So first of all, हमने DDT को लिया है, so हम DDT को explain कर रहे हैं. So basically DDT, these are the example, or we can say these are the hydrophobic molecule. Number one. First one, these are the hydrophobic molecule. So when we are talking about this hydrophobic molecule, it means that it does not react with the water, right? Next condition, DDT, it is not easily biodegradable. Not easily तो छोड़ के दो, ये biodegradable ही नहीं है. It is not biodegradable. So no one enzymes or no any, what we say, they can degrade such type of this molecule. That is, it is not biodegradable. Next condition we are talking about, that is DDT, these are get accumulated in adipose tissue. It is get accumulated in adipose tissue. It is become part of fat, adipose tissue. And that's why when is this any organism, when we are talking about how these are the get spread, that is through the trophic level. For example, zooplankton present in water body. So that zooplankton is eaten by the eaten by this fish, small fish. Small fish only one or two zooplankton तो नहीं खाएगा. They can eat the many. So now what happens slowly, how many zooplankton it is eaten by that small fish. So that DDT it is get accumulated inside this adipose tissue of that fish. Same condition with respect to zooplankton. Adipose tissue means what I'm talking about. It is react it because these are the hydrophobic molecule. So ultimately it is react with any lipid molecule. It will be get conjugated with any fat molecule. Not necessary कि adipose tissue ही होना चाहिए, but I just want to tell you one thing. We have to discuss about the lipid molecule or the fat molecule, right? And that's the reason that DDT these are the not degrade easily because we are eating any part. So ultimately it will be undergo the process of degradation, digestion because so many enzymes work on that. Toxic it is converted into non-toxic, but such type of this harmful DDT, BHC, aldrin pesticide or the mercury when it is get entered, when it is become part of this food chain, now the higher trophic level, higher organism, and in this condition we are taking that is bald eagle, which is present in higher trophic level, they get accumulated high concentration of that DDT, and that's why we can say that such type of this process these are called as the biomagnification process. Okay, so clear this point? This point is clear? Is this any doubt with respect to biomagnification? Sure. Okay, chalo. Now we are talking about that is last harmful effect, eutrophication, and there is a one question from the eutrophication. Chalo. So should I continue with the last point? Yes. Okay, chalo. So now we are talking about that is third point with respect to harmful effect. That is eutrophication. When we are talking about that is eutrophication, it means that aging of lake. See, lake also showing the aging process. Simply, these are called as the aging of lake due to addition of nutrient. Due to addition of nutrient. So it's quite tricky also because nutrition add ho raha hai, and now we are compare this point with the aging process. So why these are happening? What is the reason? In this condition, first of all, we are talking about how that aging process can be done. So eutrophication, before the we are talking about when is this any water body, these are the divided. So we are talking about that is two types of this eutrophication depend upon the water body. Number one we are talking about that is natural eutrophication. And the number second that is artificial or sometimes these are called as the cultural or accelerated eutrophication. Now, so the exactly main difference we have to focus on this one point that is natural. हम आगे cultural भी देखेंगे and this condition we discuss about this algal bloom. So first of all, we are talking about what is meaning of this natural. Natural means what? Naturally, some organic materials continuously get added. And when we are talking about that is cultural, it means that it is added. The nutrient get added due to human. So cultural means where human is involved in this condition. That's what is called as the cultural or the accelerated eutrophication. It means that aging of lake due to addition of this nutrient and this nutrient added by human. So first of all, we are talking about that is first point. What is meaning of this natural eutrophication? Okay, so हम focus कर रहे on the natural. How these are the possible. So in case of this natural, basically what happened? I hope you remember this point. हमने succession देखा था, right? During the succession, is this any succession start from the wet area? So that wet area it is converted into mesic. If succession is start from the any dry area like rock surface, so again it will be converted into mesic. So now what happened? In this condition, we have to discuss one point. There is a formation of, there is a presence of any young lake. Young lake means what? Just अभी अभी form हुआ, newly formed lake. Write down this point under the natural eutrophication. Okay. So these are the formation of just newly young lake. Okay. Just abhi form hua hai. So when we are talking about that the young lake or the newly formed lake, so it has the water and that water should be cold water. So यहाँ पे present होगा cold water because just अभी form हुआ है. Second condition, now we can say that is biodiversity also less because just form there is no any organic material is get accumulated, and if no material it means that organic material also less, as well as we can say that is water is clear. Water is clear, so that's why what happened, light easily pass. Light can pass because it is just newly formed, completely water, it's very what we say that is pure water is present. And as well as if we see that is the deep or the bottom of that water, it should be deeper, so deeper water level. So these are the some condition with respect to that when lake it is young lake or just abhi bana hai, that is newly formed lake. Such type of this newly formed lake slowly when there is an addition of this nutrient, so now it is converted into lake. So we are talking about that is eutrophication lake, or simply not eutrophication, we can consider as a now the after the condition. It is not lake. So simply it is not newly formed, simply we are talking about that is lake. Now what happened due to any activities, there is a release of this drainage, there is a release of the different stream. Now that newly formed the young lake is converted into normal lake. And why these are happening? Because there is an addition of nutrition. And from where that nutrition get added? That nutrition maybe get added through the sewage water or through the domestic waste, through the municipal waste, through the industrial waste. So simply we are talking about that is addition of this nutrient. Now, once nutrient get added, so slowly that the initially water it is present, that is cold water. So this cold water it is converted into warm water. Changes देखो क्या क्या हो रहे हैं. First point compared with the second, okay? So this cold water it is converted into warm water. Now initially biodiversity is low, but suddenly what happened? Nutrient is available, so organic material is more. So ultimately there is increase the number of the biodiversity. Initially water level is totally clean, light easily can pass, but now water it is not a clean, it is not a clear, now it is become quite turbid. So light cannot penetrate at the deep, so it is become turbid. And finally we are talking about initially that is deeper water level because there is no any accumulation of sand or any slit part or any stone part, there is no any degradation process. So slowly what happened, that deeper water level, these are the converted into shallow. And why these are the happening? Because there is the addition of nutrient. Addition of nutrients. So all these are the scenario with respect to natural eutrophication. Initially there is a clear cut, we can say the water body, these are the clean water body is cold, less biodiversity is present, but there is a continuously addition of this nutrient through the domestic waste, through any sewage water, through any drainage. So slowly water जो initially cold था, it is become warm, because we know that is this any warm temperature or warm temperature or the warm temperature of this water, ultimately it is increase the process of decomposition. And you remember that point, it is increase the process of decomposition. So that's why that cold water it is converted into warm water. Biodiversity initially low tha, now it is increases, water is clear, so easily light can pass, but now that water it is become turbid. And finally the deeper water level, but due to accumulation, due to addition of this nutrient, now there is that water level it is become shallow. Okay, so these are the first point with respect to natural eutrophication. Cultural we'll discuss in next class. So is this any doubt from the natural eutrophication? How do you understand what is meaning of this process of eutrophication? Eutrophication means what? Simply we are talking about this aging of lake, right? Quality of water it is get declined. That water body which is initially it is clean, having the cold water, but due to excess addition of that nutrient, it will be showing aging. Aging means what? That water body get polluted. Okay, so is there any doubt from today's class? Yes, Aristotle, clear everyone? This point is clear for everyone? Okay, fine, chalo. So just I want to ask you, because ये हमारा I think up to Saturday or in one more. So should we next test should we conduct only 2 chapters? एक जो हमने पहला देखा था just now these environmental issues, and उसके पहले हमने जो देखा था biodiversity and conservation. So should we get 2 chapters for the next test, upcoming test, whatever जब कभी भी होगा? Is this okay for you? 2 chapters together, because it's a very small chapter. Okay, sure everyone? Okay, so remember, for the next test you will have the 2 chapters. Number 1, biodiversity conservation and the environmental issues, because I think I required more 2.5 class. And then see what we'll start. We start with the, I think we start with the microbe, because and or molecular, because 50-50 conditions are there. Some students say they have exam in molecular chapter, some students say this chapters there's exam on the microbe. So just please text me, because Hiba texts me, I think Pooja Hirani also texts me. पूजा के लिए शायद microbe chapter है, and for the Kings 11 Punjab Kings School they have the molecular chapter. So just please text me if you have exam in next month in October. So what we want to cover, because just 3 chapters we left, and next we decide what we start. Okay, we manage according to our school examination. I'll try to do that. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. So मुझे text करके बता देना after that environmental issue कौन सा chapter start करना है. And just now I told you for the next test 2 chapters on for your test. Number 1, that is biodiversity conservation, and the second one environmental issues. Clear? Simple है, together study करना है. It's very simple. Yeah, चलो ठीक है. So bye bye. See you on Friday. Okay, take care. Do study.